The town of Aparaki sat proudly at the crossroads of ancient trade routes, a place where the sun always seemed to rise with purpose. The earth there was rich and red, the kind that stained the soles of travelers' feet and made the crops grow tall and proud. Merchants from neighboring towns flocked to Aparaki markets, a bustling sea of colorful fabrics, aromatic spices, and the sweet music of traders calling customers to their stalls. But Aparaki was not just known for its wealth. Its true treasure was its respect for ancestral blessings. Every elder knew that wealth could vanish like morning dew, but the blessings of ancestors, if honored, could last for generations. Among these blessings, none was more cherished than the birth of twins, the sacred Ibeji. At the heart of Aparaki stood Baba Ibeji, a merchant whose name opened doors from Lagos to Ijebu-Ode. His tall, heavy with imported fabrics, adire, ashoke, and dama was the pride of the market. Behind the stall, clay jars held spices that made even the most ordinary stew sing with flavor. Baba Ibeji traded not just in goods, but in trust, for every merchant knew his word was strong like Iroko wood. But wealth, no matter how vast, could not match the joy that came to Baba Ibeji's home one clear Harmattan morning. His wife gave birth to twins, Taiwo and Kehinde. News of the birth swept through the town like Harmattan dust, touching every corner. The drummers gathered without being called. The women of the market tied their geles tighter, and the elders gathered at Baba Ibeji's compound to chant blessings into the air. Ibejio, children of fortune, double blessings, double joy, one foot in the spirit world, one foot in the land of the living. Ibejio, protect your parents, bring wealth, bring peace. In Yoruba culture, twins were no ordinary children. They were sacred messengers between the spirit world and the living. To have twins was to hold both fortune and responsibility in your hands. Baba Ibeji, already a wealthy man, believed his sons would bring everlasting prosperity, a double inheritance from the gods themselves. But the elders also whispered another truth passed down from ancestors. The calabash that carries twins must be carried with care, for it holds double blessings and double burdens. As Taiwo and Kehinde grew, the villagers would pause to watch them, identical in face, yet each carrying a spirit as different as fire and water. Taiwo, the first to touch the earth, was bold and restless, always chasing the wind. Kehinde second was calm and watchful, seeing what others missed. Together, they were the pride of Aparaki, the living proof that wealth was not just gold in the palm, but the blessings that walked beside you. But, like the elders warned, blessings can always become burdens, a truth Baba Ibeji will soon learn. In the heart of Aparaki, where the night air often carried the scent of roasted yam and the sound of distant drums, a different kind of song filled the air, the crackling roar of flames. It began just after midnight when the ancestors were set to walk between the living and the spirit world. Baba Ibeji's market stall, once overflowing with colorful fabrics, sweet spices and fragrant oils, stood helpless against the hungry fire that leapt from stall to stall like a restless spirit. By dawn, all that remained were ashes scattered like broken dreams. The flames did not stop at the marketplace. They reached towards Baba Ibeji's home, consuming the walls that once heard the laughter of his twin sons. Neighbors formed a human chain, passing buckets from the village well, chanting prayers to Shango, god of fire, begging him to spare what was left. But the fire was relentless, as though summoned by fate itself. Baba Ibeji, once a man of wealth and pride, stood barefoot among the ashes, clutching the hands of Taiwo and Kehinde. His fine robes were singed, his voice hoarse from shouting, and his heart hollow from loss. When wealth burns, the heart must find a new fire to follow, the village elder whispered, placing a hand on Baba Ibeji's trembling shoulder. With no fortune left, no trade to rebuild, and no home to shelter his sons, Baba Ibeji made the hardest decision a father could make. He would send his secret twins, the pride of Aparaki, to live apart under the care of trusted guardians in neighboring towns. Taiwo, the firstborn, was sent to Ijebu-Ode to live with Baba Agbo, a renowned herbalist known for his deep knowledge of roots, leaves, and ancient curses. The heart will teach you, Baba Ibeji told Taiwo, voice thick with grief. Listen to the plants, they know secrets even men forget. Kehinde, the younger twin, was sent to the bustling city of Lagos to live with Baba Fatai, a blacksmith whose hands could bend iron like softened yam. The fire will shape you, Baba Ibeji told Kehinde, his hand resting on his son's shoulders. Remember, even from fire, strength is born. At the village shrine, beneath the ancient Iroko tree where ancestors were honored, Baba Ibeji knelt with his sons one last time. The wind rustled the leaves, carrying the voices of the forefathers, a soft, sorrowful hum. Baba Ibeji began to sing, his voice shaking like the earth before rain. Omo Ibeji, children of my soul, one heart, two bodies, now apart. Walk in wisdom, walk in light. May the gods guide you through the night. The villagers joined in, their voices weaving a lullaby of farewell and hope, filling the air with ancient comfort. As the twins were led down separate paths, they looked back only once, seeing their father kneeling beneath the shrine, his head bowed, his tears soaking into the earth, watering hope for the day the twins will return, not as boys, but as men who will restore the family's name. In the town of Ijebu-Ode, where the air smelled of wet hair and the whisper of forest spirits hummed in the wind, Taiwo began his new life under the roof of Baba Agbo, a renowned herbalist. Baba Agbo's hut stood at the edge of the sacred grove, where leaves rustled like ancestral voices and streams sang forgotten songs. From dawn till dusk, Taiwo's hands were stained green with leaves and brown with earth. The soil knows our footsteps, Baba Agbo would say. If you walk with kindness, the heart will guide you to our secrets. Taiwo learned to listen, not just with his ears but with his spirit. He could hear the bark of the lion tree creak when the rains approached, or the soft sigh of the ewe akoko leaves when someone nearby was ill. Each herb had a story, each root held a memory. Baba Agbo taught him the songs that called to herbs in the dark, the chants that unlocked the healing in plants that feared human touch. Ewe gbogbo, ewe ala, ewe aye, speak your power to this child of Ibeji. May your roots know his earth. May your leaves heal his hand. Yet, even surrounded by the earth's ancient wisdom, Taiwo felt a hollow space within him. Each night, as moonlight filtered through the roof, he would dream of laughter he could not see, a voice like his own calling from far away. Baba Agbo knew what troubled the boy, but only offered a proverb. A river may split in two, but both streams will find the same ocean. Far away in the restless city of Lagos, Kehinde lived in the forge of Baba Fatai, a blacksmith whose hammer rang like thunder through the narrow streets. Smoke and fire became Kehinde's constant companions. With each swing of the hammer, iron bent to his wheel, knives for fishermen, tools for farmers, ornaments for the rich who paid in gold. Iron is alive, Baba Fatai said. When you strike it, you are shaping its spirit. Kehinde was strong and clever, quick to understand the secret of metal. He could tell the difference between iron born from the belly of the earth and iron touched by lightning. Baba Fatai taught him the hidden chants blacksmiths sang to their hammers, songs that turned ordinary metal into charms of protection. Iron that drinks fire, iron that fears no spirit, bend for the child of Ibeji, shape his destiny in your flame. Kehinde excelled, admired even by older apprentices, but when the forge fires dimmed at night, silence would fill the room, a silence that echoed inside his heart. In dreams, he stood in a forest he had never seen, hearing his name whispered from the trees. "Who calls me?" He would ask the wind, but there was no answer. Baba Fatai noticed the sadness hidden beneath the boy's strength and offered his own wisdom. Even if the iron is broken in two, both halves remember the same fire. Years passed. Taiwo became the boy who spoke to leaves, and Kehinde became the man whose hands could bend steel like water. Yet neither found true peace. Each felt they were only half of something greater, like a drum missing its second skin, or a calabash cracked down the middle. On the day of their 20th birthday, both Taiwo and Kehinde woke with their hearts pounding, their palms sweating as if fire and earth had whispered the same message to them: "Come home." And so, without knowing why, the healer of Ijebu-Ode and the blacksmith of Lagos began the journey back to the town of their birth, Aparaki, where fate, long separated, will finally whip them together once more. No matter how far the sky stretches, the sun always finds the earth. The night the twins turned 20, the air itself seemed to hum with unseen hands drumming the earth. In Ijebu-Ode, Taiwo felt it first, a restless tug in his chest, pulling him towards the east. At the same time in Lagos, Kehinde's hammer slipped from his grasp, his heart racing without reason, a call pulling him westward. Neither twin could explain it, but both knew they had to follow the invisible voice that whispered through the air. That night, beneath the light of a full moon, so bright it bathed the earth in silver, they met at Okeaje, the sacred hill that stood between their two towns. As Taiwo climbed from one side and Kehinde from the other, their footsteps fell into rhythm. Though neither knew the other was coming, at the hilltop they froze, two identical faces staring back at each other, like a mirror had split the moon itself. For a heartbeat, neither spoke. Then Taiwo, voice trembling, whispered, Kehinde? Kehinde stepped forward, eyes wide. Taiwo! Their laughter cracked like thunder across the hill, followed by tears that flowed freely. They embraced tightly, arms clinging like roots wrapping around each other after years apart. Though time had stretched them in different directions, the bond of Ibeji, secret twins, could never break. Without knowing why, they began to chant an ancient song they had not sung since infancy. Ibejio, children of fortune, born two hearts in one womb, one voice in two bodies. When the left hand knows, the right remembers. The wind carried the song down into the valleys, through the forest and across the rivers, waking sleeping spirits who had long waited for this moment. The air thickened with mist, and out of the swelling fog ancestral figures emerged, old women wrapped in woven clothes, elders leaning on carved stars, and warriors with cowrie-studded belts, their voices layered into the twins' song, creating a harmony that vibrated through the earth itself. An elder spirit stepped forward, eyes glowing like embers in the dark. In a voice that felt older than time, he spoke. You were split by fire, but joined by destiny. Your hands were made to work together. The wealth you seek is not in gold, but in the work of your hands and the wisdom of your roots. Taiwo and Kehinde knelt, heads bowed in reverence. The spirits placed a hand on each of their shoulders, whispering a final blessing. The left hand watches the right. Together they claimed the face. The twins stood again, no longer two boys lost in the world, but two house made whole. Their hearts beat in unison, and without speaking, they knew their journey had only just begun. They would reclaim their father's fortune, not by chasing wealth, but by combining the gift the gods had given each of them. The herbalist's healing hands and the blacksmith's shaping strength. Hand in hand, under the watchful eyes of their ancestors, they descended the sacred hill, ready to rewrite their family story. The morning after their magical reunion, Taiwo and Kehinde walked side by side into Ijebu-Ode, the town where Taiwo had lived with the herbalist. The town, famous for its bustling markets and ancient trade routes, welcomed them with the scent of roasted corn, the clang of metal from the blacksmith stalls, and the soft hum of prayers floating from nearby shrines. At first, the twins were unsure how to begin, but the wisdom of their guardians guided them. Taiwo knew the secrets of herbs, leaves that healed wounds, roots that protected against evil spirits, and seeds that invited prosperity. Kehinde's hands, hardened by years of forging iron, could shape metal into forms both beautiful and powerful. It was their shared destiny to combine these gifts into something the world had never seen before. Together, they created healing jewelry, iron bracelets infused with medicinal herbs, anklets that whispered protection chants to the wearer, and the pendants forged under the full moon. Blessed with prayers to attract wealth and peace, each item carried a story, a song, a secret passed down from their ancestors. People from neighboring towns like Shagamu, Abeokuta, and even the great city of Lagos heard of the twins' creations. Farmers came for blessed tools, iron hoes, and machetes dipped in spiritual waters to ensure bountiful harvest. Traders bought amulets to guard their goods from thieves and bad fortune. Mothers sought protective charms for their newborns. Enchanted with lullabies, Taiwo and Kehinde remembered from their childhood. Despite their growing fame, the twins never forgot their roots. Every dawn before opening their workshop, they knelt at the shrine they built in the corner of their compound. With hands joined, they poured fresh palm wine onto the earth and called to the spirits of their ancestors. Baba Ibeji, guardian of our bloodline, we stir the pot of fortune with wisdom, not greed. May the work of our hands honor your dreams. They recited proverbs the herbalist and blacksmith had taught them, weaving their daily labor with ancestral blessings. The pot that boils wealth must be stirred with wisdom. At sunset, they sang old Yoruba chants as they locked up their store, voices rising with the smoke from their hearth. Ajay, goddess of wealth, hear us. We walk with clean hands. We trade with pure hearts. Bless us not with riches alone, but with the peace that wealth cannot buy. One evening, as they prepared for sleep, Kehinde turned to Taiwo, his voice soft. Brother, our fortune grows, but there is a debt we have not yet paid. Taiwo nodded. They both knew. Baba Abeji's name still carried the stain of misfortune in Aparaki, their hometown. They had left the village as boys separated by fate, but they would return as men united by purpose. They would rebuild not only wealth but honor. we will go home, not just with gold but with wisdom, the wealth our father truly longed for. With that vow, they began to plan their return to Aparaki, where their story had begun, to restore not just their fortune but their father's legacy. With their newfound wealth and wisdom, Taiwo and Kehinde prepared to return to Aparaki, the village that once celebrated their birth with chants and blessings. They traveled back not as boys but as men of honor, their caravan loaded with treasures from their crafts, healing amulets, enchanted tools, and fabrics infused with protective herbs. As they stepped into the village square, the talking drums echoed their arrival, sending ripples through the crowd. Villagers pour into the square, singing ancient welcome songs reserved for returning heroes. Ibejio, Ibejio, sons of fortune, welcome home. From ashes you rise, like the phoenix of old. Elder women ululate with joy, while children run barefoot, eager to touch the hands of the legendary twins. Baba Ibeji, now bent with age, but his spirit still fierce, watches through teary eyes. His trembling hands clasps his walking stick, which he taps against the heart in gratitude. Oh, mommy, my sons, I thought the fire took you from me, but the fire only forged you into gold. Baba Ibeji says, voice cracking with emotion as he embraces them both. Together, the twins begin the work of restoring their ancestral compound, not just rebuilding the walls, but weaving the wisdom of their journeys into every corner. The family business is revived, now infused with a new spirit, healing herbs, protective chants, and iron craftsmanship united into one powerful trade. At the heart of the compound, the twins build a grand shrine dedicated to the ancestors who guided their steps when all seemed lost. Every morning, they pour libations of palm wine, whispering gratitude in prayers learned from the herbalist and the blacksmith. The village griots compose songs in their honor, sung at every festival to remind future generations of the sacred twins who rebuilt their father's fortune, not with gold alone, but with wisdom, unity, and the blessings of tradition. Years later, under the ancient Iroko tree in the heart of Aparaki, the village children gather around an elder griot, his voice rising and falling like the wind. Through the palm fronds, the griot's skin is wrinkled like old leather, but his eyes shine bright with wisdom as he begins. Once, in this very village, two brothers were born, not just any brothers, but twins, the sacred Ibeji. Fate separated them, but the spirits of our ancestors wove their path back together, like the two sides of a calabash finding their perfect fit. The children listen with wide eyes as the griot tells of fire, separation, learning, and reunion. It ends with the final lesson. True wealth does not live in gold or silver. True wealth lives in hands that work together, in the wisdom carried in our blood and in the unbreakable bond of family. Like the Iroko tree, strength comes from roots grow together, deep into the earth. The children chant along with him, raising their hands to the sky. Ibejio, double joy, double strength, twice the wisdom, twice the blessing, from fire to fortune, from loss to legacy. The twins walked with the ancestors beside them. Share your thoughts and the most valuable lesson from this story in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Have you enjoyed this story and want to uncover more lessons, mysteries, and financial insights? Don't stop here. Click on our other videos about to dive into more captivating tales and timeless wisdom from across Africa. There is so much more to explore. Don't miss out. Thank you for watching and we will see you in the next adventure.